Yeah, a huge amount of what we say in everyday life, and a huge amount of what we write, and a huge amount of like if you're doing painting or if you're doing photography, you're kind of doing what you see other people doing. And it's hard to kind of figure out what it is that you can do differently or want to do differently. And I think it's a matter of quantity and volume. I'm a huge believer in the process of generating lots of things as a way of getting where you want to go. Most of it, which is probably stuff you won't keep or don't want even anybody to see, but that's okay. You need to do that to get to the point. And there's a kind of a famous story about two photography teachers, an assignment that they gave. And it was like a photography class. And there were two ways to be graded. And I believe they gave the students a choice. You can either, I'll grade you on the number of photographs that you take in the year, like thousands or whatever it is. You have to give me finished process in these very, very large numbers. And depending on how many you give me, I'll give you a grade. Or you can give me a few of them of your best work, and I'm just going to grade those one or two. And some students did each. And what he said was by far the best photographs of that seminar always came from the students who tried to produce most, even though they weren't trying to make masterpieces. They were just trying to go for quantity. And so there is something about doing art by the pound that helps you try enough so you can begin to kind of awaken those areas where you are kind of being only you.
I found that one really helpful way to kind of invert that a little bit or look at it from a different perspective is to think about it less about producing and more about kind of the feedback that you're getting. And that feedback can be, so to use that photography example, when you think about feedback, yes, part of that feedback is sharing it with the world and seeing what that reception is and what people gravitate towards or what people really like that you produce. But another piece of it is just feedback with yourself, feedback of observing that work. And if you think about, do you want to get one piece of feedback every 2 months or do you want to get a little bit of feedback every day? Obviously, the answer starts to get really clear really quickly.
My last book I wrote out loud, basically, on my blog, and I recommend that to writers all the time for the kind of writing that I do, which is nonfiction. I have a friend who made a living writing his science fiction stories chapter by chapter, posting them as he was writing them. So writing out loud is a tremendous way to get feedback on what you're doing. You're writing pieces, writing chapters, whatever it is, and posting. It's almost like, why would you not do that? Is my feeling right now, because you get people suggesting things that you hadn't thought of, people to talk to, or work that you didn't know existed, corrections where you actually say incorrect, wrong, factual things. Just so much that is available if you're willing to kind of endure and see it constructively, that I just highly recommend it.
I love that piece of advice and writing out loud.